How well will the cheapest holographic on the market hold up? We're gonna find out. Hey guys, Akimbo Chris with Crusader Armory TV. And today guys, we got a really cool new optic for you. It is the Gloryfire Holographic Sight. This is the cheapest holographic sight on the market, pretty much period. Sure, there might be some options from Temu and Alibaba that you could probably get a little bit cheaper than this, but as far as like legit holographic optics go, this is going to be one of the cheapest on the market. Gloryfire sent this out to the channel for us to test and put it head to head with an EOTech. So I'm super excited about this because I love holographic sights. They're one of my favorite type of optics to put on my firearms, and this thing is brand new to the market. I think we might even be the first channel to cover this exact optic. So today guys, we're going to be running it through its paces and see how well will the cheapest holographic sight on the market hold up. So real quick, just going over the setup that we're going to be shooting today. I do have the Gloryfire mounted on my B&T GHM9 and 9mm, and we have that paired with the CMMG 0-36K suppressor and the Surefire M300 clone light. If you guys are interested in any of the attachments on this build, please make sure to check our brand link. The link will be in the pinned comments below if you're interested in this build or anything that is on this build. All the links will be there so you guys can check out more information on that. So getting into the overview of the Gloryfire. One of the reasons I'm really excited about this optic is because I'm a big fan of holographic sights, and there hasn't been a lot of competition in the holographic market in a very, very long time. The only two companies you can really find holographics for, like true holographics that aren't just red dots, is EOTech and Vortex UH1. Until now. Now we have a few competitors showing up on the market, with the Gloryfire being one of them. Now, this probably looks very familiar to you guys, and that is because there has been a company that has recently come out called Azential Defense that released a product that looks very, very similar to this one, and it's also a holographic. I do believe that they share the same frame and the same body, so they look very, very identical. However, there are some key differences between the two, such as the reticle system. The reticle system does look a little bit different, with that one having more of a Vortex UH1 reticle and this one having more of an EOTech style reticle. So I'm super excited to see some competition in the holographic market, especially when it comes at a cheaper price point. Now, with the Gloryfire, there's going to be one thing that really stands out from your other holographics on the market, and that's going to be that this thing actually has shake awake. So one of the biggest complaints about the EOTech is that the battery life sucks. One of the reasons the battery life sucks is because there is no shake awake feature. There is a auto off feature, but I think it cuts off around every 4 hours, so that will significantly drain your battery life. This thing actually has shake awake. So you now have a holographic where you get all the benefits of having a holographic, such as the zero parallax, the ease of passive aiming and things like that. But now you have significantly better battery life because it is shake awake. I have been testing this thing for the past month or so. I have brought it out in the range and shot with it on a few different firearms, and so far the shake awake feature has worked perfectly. It's still on the original battery I put in there. It doesn't seem like it's drained at all from the brightness of the reticle, and every time I pick this thing up, the reticle comes on. So I haven't had any issues with the shake awake feature, and I really do think that that's huge, considering one of the biggest complaints about the EOTech is that it doesn't have shake awake. So going over the other features of the Gloryfire holographic sight, you do get a QD mount here, so if you want to move it from firearm to firearm, it is super simple. All you have to do is push the latch, optic comes right off, You sit the optic right back on there, but don't struggle with it, and then latch it right back down. So it's gonna be very easy for you to move this from firearm to firearm. I really do like the QD system because I do move my optics a lot, being a gun content creator. So I'm really glad that they included that. As far as your window size, you do get a pretty big window. It's not quite as big as something like you'll see on the EOTech or the Vortex UH1. However, in my opinion, it's more than usable enough. As far as your buttons go, you do get a nice tactile click on the buttons. They're not super mushy or anything like that. They don't feel super cheap. You get that nice tactile click when you're going up or down. And this thing does get plenty bright. So if you're shooting this during the day or whatever the case may be, this thing is plenty bright. The reticle is pretty crisp. I wouldn't say it's quite as crisp as your EOTech, but again, this thing is coming in significantly cheaper than something like your EOTech. So for your range use, I don't see that you would have any issues with it. Along with the brightness settings, you do have a night vision mode. So if you want to use this for night vision shooting, you can do that as well, just like your other holographic sights. All you have to do to go into night vision mode is to hold down the plus symbol, and it will put you into night vision mode. So you're not gonna be able to see the reticle during the day, but if you put nods on, you should be able to use that reticle no problem. So it is a functioning night vision mode. I tested it under my night vision goggles and it seems to work fine. You do have your adjustments over here for zeroing the optic. You have your right and left and your up and down. You do get a tactile click for every time that you adjust it, and one click does equal 0.5 MOA. So you're not getting any mushy turrets here to adjust your optics, so you can count the amount of clicks to make sure that if you do have to adjust your zero for whatever reason, you throw a can on it, then you can track that back. That's super big for me because zeroing your optics, especially at different distances, you may have to adjust, and it's super nice to be able to count your adjustments. So you do get a nice tactile click, so you shouldn't have any issues with this thing just randomly losing zero. Overall, it seems like a really cool optic. The only downside I would say, just first impressions looking at it, is that it is pretty ugly. The aesthetics on this thing are not gonna be up to par with your EOTech and your Vortex UH1. I think those optics aesthetically look a lot better. This thing kind of looks like a Sketcher shape up, but as long as it works, who cares? Not everybody is trying to be a gun Instagram model and post aesthetically pleasing guns. Some people just want to set their guns up for practical use, shoot at the range, and they don't really care how it looks. So as long as it works today, it's kind of a moot point. But again, I will acknowledge that it is not the prettiest optic in the world, and it is basically the Sketcher shape up of death. So that's what we're gonna call it today, the Sketcher shape up of death. So I'm super excited to shoot this thing, see how it compares to my other holographic sights that I have and the things that I've used, and see if it holds up. So we're gonna be doing some durability, we'll put it through a torture test, we're gonna be doing some accuracy shooting, some drills with it, and overall, just give our first impressions. So without further ado, let's get into it. All right guys, so we just got the Gloryfire dialed in and zeroed, just offhanding, zeroing it. And we took these at about 25 yards, these headshots. This was the first one. We came down just a little bit and got super close. For this length of a barrel, that's more than likely shooter error, me pulling that. And then this was our grouping up close, super tight, but we did have a little bit of height over bore. So this is a very tall optic, so when you are zeroing it, if you do start up close, just keep that in mind that you're probably inherently gonna hit a little bit lower than where you're aiming just because of the height of the optic off of the gun up close. So probably better start up close, get on paper, and then back her up to really dial in these adjustments. But all right, let's get into the accuracy testing to see how accurate we can be with a Chinese holographic sight. So we're gonna start offhanding her at about 10 yards with a 5-shot group, then we'll go to 15, 25, and then we're gonna go all the way back to 50 yards at one of these targets. So let's see how she does on the GHM9. All right, first group, 10 yards, super close, danger close with the Sketcher shape up of death. All right, check her out. Hit the center of the target. All A zones. Got one or two, got a few right there, and then 1, 2 right here. I had 5 loaded, so looks like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Super tight, center of the target, exactly what you want to see. I really do like how crisp this reticle is during the day. I mean, it is pretty clear. Again, not as clear as like a EOTech, but it works pretty well. All right, so now that we got that group, I decided let's just go ahead and go back to 25. I think at 10, that's more than good enough. And then at 15, it's probably not gonna change much. So let's go back to 25 and then try her at 50. All right, 25. Let's see how she does. If an optic isn't accurate, it's no good. I can already see the group. Not bad considering this is a very, very short barrel. And this thing is a little bit hard to stabilize, especially when you're a diabetic. There's always too much sugar in my system or too little sugar in my system. And I get to use it as an excuse for my lack of performance. So just freehanding it, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, all A zones, more than acceptable performance. I'm sure if we lock this in the rest, we'll get much better performance out of it. Now we're gonna actually lock her in the rest and we're gonna take her way down there to 50 yards and see how well we can grip with it. All right guys, so we got her locked down in the Bog Death Grip. If you're looking for a really nice tripod to zero and do some shooting with, link will be in the pinned comments below. Let me charge her. All right.
How do you think you're gonna do at 50?
I don't know, we didn't zero the optic at 50, so.
I think you'll still be pretty good, general accuracy wise.
Yeah, we'll just see how the grouping looks. It may have rose just a little bit, but let's check her out. Yeah, we're a little bit left of the target. That makes sense. Like I said, we didn't zero it at this distance, and we're shooting it at a angle. Yeah, right there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So not terrible, and I was aiming low here, so it looks like just shooting just a little bit left at that distance. We probably dial it in and move it just slightly right and try it one more time. Oh, that one sounded different. Most of the rounds that we're running through this thing today, guys, are Winchester white box, so don't expect any crazy performance out of it. Yeah, and again, guys, I was aiming low, so that way, make sure we're hitting the hay bale. But yeah, that's not bad at all. Better than the last one, especially with this size of gun. I mean, this isn't much longer than a pistol barrel. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So 1 flyer. If I would have got that there, that would have been a really, really good grouping, but pulled 1.
Overall, still a good group.
Yeah, not bad at all. Definitely usable. Don't have a magnifier or anything on this thing. We're literally using it just as it is, and that's more than acceptable performance, especially considering I was aiming low. So if you're aiming for an A zone, that would have been a KIA. All right, guys, now you know we gotta be tactical Tonys. We're gonna run some drills and test the real world performance and capability of the Gloryfire. So we're gonna run a build drill, a Mozambique, and then we'll move on to a few movement drills, and we'll even let cameraman shoot it and see what he thinks of it. So we're gonna start out with a 5-round build drill, 7 yards, center mass of the target. I know most of the time a build drill is 6 rounds, however, we try to conserve ammo as much as possible out here. So that 1 round will make a difference.
Stand by. .89.
Quick. Was it effective? Seems like it. All A zones.
Yeah, all A zones.
Wasn't the tightest group in the world. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. But again, doing a build drill, we're not going for precision. We're going for a mix, and that's pretty good.
Yeah.
So under a 3-second build drill. We don't have a shot timer, so we're kind of just doing it off of our timer. So what I've noticed with other YouTubers is with the shot timers, their time is a lot different than ours. Like 3 seconds to us is like 1.5 seconds to them. That's what I've noticed. So, all right, cool. Alrighty, let's move on to a Mozambique. 2 to the body, 1 to the head. The finisher.
The shooter understand the course of fire.
Yes, sir.
Stand by.
I was a little bit low. I was just a little bit low. I shot a little bit early. Shooter error. Yeah, I think it was 1. I think the second one hit like right there from what I saw when I impacted. So 1, 2, and then 3. Let me run that one more time because I know I can clean it up.
All right.
How much? What was the time?
1.95.
1.95, not bad.
I mean, that's an incapacitated person, so.
Yeah, and guys, I mean, I love the way this B&T feels. Like, again, I said this in our full review. If you want to see more about this gun, check out the full review on the channel, but this is so comparable to like an MP5. Like the way it feels. No, it's not a roller delayed system, but it has that hydraulic buffer built in the back, so it's super soft shooting. Even with a can on it, it's super, super soft, as you guys can see. This thing really doesn't move. So if you're looking for a really compact design, you can even fold the stock on this thing, put it in your book bag. I mean, you're good to go. And by the way, guys, if you're staring at my super cool shirt, you should go check out our Instagram and Facebook page. We'll be dropping these shirts soon. Faith-based tactical clothing. That way, every time you throw it on, it reminds you that you're a warrior of God and you got to stay consistent in your walk with Christ.
Woo. 201.
A little bit more time, but I traded that for precision. This thing is so easy to shoot, guys, especially with the holographic. One of the biggest benefits I see with holographics from someone who's used a whole bunch of red dots and, you know, EOTechs, the Vortex UH1, the holographics are just so much easier to track and passively aim because of that zero parallax effect. It is a difference, there is a difference, and I always am able to cut my time substantially with a big windowed holographic sight, and that stays true for the Gloryfire. We up right there, another shot there. Mm-hmm. Yep, right there, you see that second shot, and then there was the other one almost directly on the zero, and then there's our headshot. More than effective for a Mozambique drill in about 2 seconds on our timer. So now let's test and see how well she does moving around, because like I just mentioned, it's much easier to track with a holographic with that zero parallax effect. So let's put that to the test and move around the range. Now we're going to do a 3-position movement drill. We'll take 2 shots at each target here, 25, 2 shots at each target, and then over there we're going to do 1 shot at each target. So a total of 10 rounds on this drill. Let's see how quick I can run it.
$19.1.
All right, check the targets.
How do you think you did?
See, I pulled 1. The other ones don't look too bad for me, like moving around. 1, 2, 3, 4. There's maybe 1 in here. It's really hard to tell with, you know, the fact that I shot out the center of the target. It does look like there was 1 here, right there. Here, it looks like we got mostly A zones, except for this one. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Not bad. Not bad for moving around. Pretty effective. Our targets are KIA. So holographic definitely helps. Easy to move with. I really like that zero parallax effect. The only thing that I will say so far about the Gloryfire that may be a downfall compared to an EOTech or a Vortex UH1 is while the reticle is pretty crisp in the daylight, you do get a little bit of refraction off of that reticle. So that reticle does refract a little bit, so you can see a little bit of almost like a starbursting effect, and it only gets worse when the lighting is lower. So if you're inside like a house at night or whatever the case may be, when I've been using this thing, I have noticed that you can see a lot of refraction in low light. However, is that a real issue for a civilian use gun or a range toy? All you gotta do is lower the brightness setting to negate that effect. But that's what I will say, just comparatively to the EOTech and the Vortex UH1, this one does refract a lot more than those, it seems like almost like a starburst effect when it gets too bright. I don't get that as much with the EOTech or the Vortex.
The shooter understand the course of fire.
Yes, sir.
Stand by. $10.6.
Not bad. It's about average for what I do it with a handgun.
Yeah, pretty good.
Didn't substantially increase my times or anything like that. easy to follow, and so far it is holding up. So, all right, so one other downside that I've noticed about the Gloryfire, just comparatively, again, to the EOTech and the Vortex, probably not a deal breaker for civilian use or anything like that, but most holographics, when you aim down sight, and we are empty here, but most holographics, when you aim down sight, whoever's on the receiving end of the firearm usually can't see the reticle or the emitter from the other side looking down into the optic. But this one, for whatever reason, you can. I'm not sure if it's the way that the mirrors are set up with the holographic system or whatever the case may be, but just comparatively to the EOTech, I know when you look at an EOTech from the muzzle end of the optic, then you usually can't see that reticle at all, and that's one of the benefits of a holographic. However, this one, you can still see the reticle when you look through it if it's at a extremely high brightness setting. Now, at normal brightness settings, you can't see it that much, but when you turn this thing all the way up and you're in a dark room, you can definitely see that reticle through the glass. Not a deal breaker, but it is just something that I want to bring up so that way you guys are aware. For civilian use or range use or anything like that, who cares? It's not going to be an issue. But this really isn't a like combat ready optic. This is not meant for that. This is supposed to be a holographic that is in that more range friendly, you know, budget price range. So not a super big deal breaker for me, because most red dots do that as well. But I'm not sure why this one does that and the EOTech or whatever doesn't do it. So I'm not sure. Probably a downside for some people, but yeah, just something I want to point out. All right, so now we're gonna let cameraman take a shot with it and just kind of see how he feels about the optic.
Now I'm out. I like the optic. Pretty easy to keep up with. I mean, I kept it on that target the entire time, didn't move much. I like it. For commercial use and like range use, I'd pick it, but over EOTech for like a duty raid, no. I like it though.
All right guys, so now for the durability testing. It passes as far as accuracy goes. It seems to be pretty accurate and holds zero through the amount of rounds we put through it. It works pretty well for everyday practical use, just like a normal holographic would. I didn't see any huge performance differences from me performing this with a EOTech. But now we got to test, is it gonna hold up? How durable is the cheapest holographic on the market? So we start out with a water bottle test. We're just gonna beat it with the water bottle, shake it up a little bit, and then we're going to pour water over top of it to ensure it's waterproof and it doesn't have any issues. Then we'll beat it a little bit more, and then we're gonna check zero. So let's just start off with the water bottle test. Woo! There's the water.
There's the water on it.
Yeah, we'll go ahead and get it wet. That usually happens. That's how you can tell I'm beating this thing.
Really?
Yeah, I'm really beating this thing. So, got her soaked in some water. Got the B&T wet as well.
That suppressor's happy right now.
Yeah. Okay, all right. So we got her. I'm actually gonna take her off the B&T because I don't want to damage or scratch up my expensive firearm, but we will take her off. Now we're gonna take this water, we'll pour the rest of it over top of the optic. I'll take the rest of the water, get her wet, make sure she holds up. If it's not waterproof, then at this price point, it's going to be kind of a hard sell. All right, she's wet. Optic still looks good, still on, still working. I don't see any water inside of the optic. It should be sealed on both sides from the glass. But okay, all right. So optic's still working. No visible water damage inside of the optic. Just poured a whole bottle of water on her. So now we got to beat her up a little bit. So I'm gonna bang her up against the wood. Just a real world test. If you are gonna have this optic on your gun, you wanna make sure that under real world use, beating it, banging it around, that's gonna hold up. All right, okay. Now let's drop her on gravel. All right, now guys, we got to do the drop test. So we got some gravel here. We're gonna drop it on the gravel from a realistic distance, about chest height, and see how she holds up. So we'll do 3 drops. Drop number 1. Oof, that hurt me, bro. I hate doing this. I hate it, guys, but I do it for you, I promise. All right.
If it's gonna break on us, at least y'all get to save your money.
Yep, no visible damage. Oh, we did get a little bit, oh, it wiped right off. We did get a little bit of a mark there. Okay. Again, this time we'll drop it.
Ooh.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, I know. All right, chest height. Oof. Optics on. Very minimal damage. I mean, I don't even see it scratched up from that.
Whatever coating they use to paint them or whatever, I mean, pretty good so far after beating it.
We did get a little bit of a ding here on the battery cap. Nothing crazy. All right, we're gonna drop her one more time. Oh, that one hit a rock. Big rock. So it hit right there. Not bad at all. I mean, dinged it a little bit, but glass isn't cracked. Reticle is still on. Reticle looks fine. No water in the reticle. Brightness settings, buttons still work. So, seems like she holds up just for everyday use. I mean, I'm not gonna sit here and drag this thing behind my truck and do some unrealistic testing with it, you know, purposely trying to break it. But for real world use, dropping your rifle, banging it around, things like that, or whatever gun you have this on, should be okay. And the latch still feels fine as well. So let's put her back on the B&T and see if she held 0. Let's see if she held 0. I'm gonna aim chest. Now for all you guys gonna complain about how I took the optic off the gun, let's just see what the results look like.
I mean,
Looked like she held up, man.
yeah, I can't really say anything. That's a tight group. That's a minute.
Yeah. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And yeah, we're super close, but we're gonna take her back and make sure she's still shooting the same. I know I probably pulled one of those. Looks like we hit head box though. I may have pulled one because I felt it. Oh yeah, I pulled one high. That's on me. I literally felt myself pull it, but 1, 2. All right, let's take her back to 50 and see if we can hit the steel plate here first. Hit him.
Yeah.
Go for the gong. She's swinging. I hit her though.
I mean, you hit each time, even with it swinging.
I did.
Best assumption is, looks like the optic held 0.
Yeah, I mean, it landed every time. And those targets aren't huge, but we are only shooting at 50, but also have a very, very short barrel. She's looking good. We definitely put her through the test. We banged her around, poured a bottle of water on there to see if any of the electronics would mess up. We dropped her on the gravel with the glass facing down multiple times, and she seems like she held 0. And we even took her off the gun and put her back on the gun, and it's relatively still very, very close. So, I mean, as far as durability goes, seems like it passes there as well. Now, all this is realistic testing for you guys to be able to make a decision whether these optics and stuff are for you. We're gonna be as honest as possible with you guys and let you know what we think, regardless if these people send these out to the channel for us to test. So please just keep that in mind. This is all realistic testing just to see if it would hold up. Now, if it's worth the price, that's really gonna be up to you guys and what you're looking for as far as, you know, what the build purpose is and things like that. But as far as holographics go, this is the cheapest one on the market, and this is one of the only ones that have shake awake. So your battery life is gonna be substantially better than something like an EOTech. And this thing is coming in like $300 less than your EOTech. By far, one of the cheapest holographics on the market, and from every test we put it through today, it seems like it holds up. We probably have a total of 400 or 500 rounds to this thing at this point, including the rounds we put through it with an AR-15. We did mount this on a 16-inch AR when we did the D&T video, and it shot really well on the AR as well. So we got about 500 rounds to this thing. We beat her up, and she's definitely held up. This thing has really impressed me. I really do like the reticle system on it. It's clear, it's bright, and it works, and it is a true holographic. I feel like the word holographic gets used a lot, and a lot of people get confused. You know, they think like a Holosun is a holographic. There's a difference between a holographic and a red dot. Now, I know most of you guys already know that, but there are some people I see in the comments, and my comments a lot, who still don't know the difference. So the technology is a lot different, which is why holographics are so expensive. It's not just because, you know, EOTech and Vortex wants to charge a lot of money. I mean, maybe it partly is, but even your cheap holographics from Temu or whatever are gonna cost you about, you know, like 400 bucks. The technology is not easy, and it uses a series of mirrors to reflect the hologram so that way you can see it. It's not the same as a red dot. It is a little bit different, and the technology is a lot more expensive to make. If you're looking for a true holographic sight, clone, I guess we could call it, then this is gonna be one of the only other options on the market outside of your AliExpress, Alibaba stuff, and who knows if you'll even get that, and when you do, it'll probably be a month after you order it. You can buy this on Amazon, which I think is one of the biggest selling points of it, is that you can get this with Prime shipping, have it in 2 days, and you got yourself a nice holographic for a range-use firearm without having to spend $750. Now, while we're talking about fake holographic sights and the difference, here is another option on the market, and Gloryfire actually sent this out to us to kind of just compare, to show you guys on the channel the difference. And this is a EOTech clone. These things are like 40 bucks on Amazon, and this is a red dot clone. So this is going to be much different than your actual holographic, because there's going to be a little bit more parallax with this. This actually doesn't even have shake awake. This is a $40 EOTech clone. It still doesn't have shake awake, even though it's a red dot. And something like this, the reason why you have such a price difference, even though this is a Chinese holographic, and they kind of market this as a Chinese holographic, is because this is a true holographic, and this thing will actually hold up. We're gonna do a separate video on this optic where we completely try to destroy this thing, just so you guys can see the big difference between a fake Chinese holographic and a real Chinese holographic. The stuff from China has definitely got a lot better over the years. I think we can all acknowledge that, because, you know, Vortex and a lot of other companies outsourcing their stuff to China, they've copied the manufacturing processes, and a lot of their stuff has gotten a lot better. Most of the stuff you buy in America nowadays too, it will say made in the USA, but then they go and they source their parts from China. So we will be doing a full video on this, kind of just literally trying to break it. So we'll be like throwing this thing and really brutally testing this thing to see how well it will hold up. But just so you know, you can kind of see the difference. The reason why this is substantially more money than this is because true holographic, this is a red dot clone. So it's not the same thing, so don't get it twisted. So overall, guys, just to close it out, I really enjoyed the Gloryfire Holographic. It seems like it works very well. As you can see by the targets here, obviously this is different drills, different points of aim, but overall it shot very well. It passed every single test we put it through, from accuracy to durability. And the only cons I can really say that I've noticed with it is, one, the look. It is a Sketcher shape up for sure. And two would be the reticle in it. It is pretty crisp, and especially in broad day, it's way more than usual. You won't have any issues seeing your target through it, but you do get a little bit more refraction off the reticle than you do with something like your EOTech or whatnot. But again, this is like $200 to $300 cheaper than your cheapest model EOTech, and it comes with night vision mode, which your lower end EOTech models did not come with. The other thing I would say is the fact that you can still see the reticle when you're at the highest brightness settings and dark spaces through the front of the lens. To me, that's not really a deal breaker, because again, I'm not a combat operator. I'm not taking this thing to war, so I don't care if somebody across the room can see it. This is a range toy for me, but just something that I do want to point out to be completely transparent with you guys. But overall, it's a real holographic. It does work. It is durable. It is accurate. And if you don't care too much about the look, this could definitely be something that you stick on a range toy or something like that. Again, is this as good as your EOTech? No. Is it as good as your Vortex UH1? Probably not. I mean, this is literally the cheapest option on the market. So if you're just looking for a usable holographic and you're trying to pinch every penny and you don't want to spend $700, $800 on one, then this might be something you want to take a look at. But I'll leave that up to you guys based on the testing and what you guys saw and if it fits your needs. But overall, our experience was pretty positive with it, and I didn't see any big issues where it's going to significantly affect your performance or anything like that. It didn't loosen up at all. The system on here is pretty robust. What did you think about it, cameraman?
I really like it. I mean, for what you get, I mean, even the new EOTech that's come out, I mean, you're paying $1,000 and you're just now getting Shake Awake with that, and that's $1,000 and this is less. I mean, for what you get, I mean, I would recommend it for range toy. I mean, I wouldn't recommend it for duty until there's more testing done, but I mean, out the box, I'd recommend it for a range toy.
You're getting all the benefits of a holographic system without that really insane price point. So with that being said, guys, if you like the video and you want to see more content like this, please slap a like on it and comment below on what you think about these new Chinese holographics coming to the market. And if you have an experience with one, let us know what your experience is. Please don't forget to subscribe to the channel because YouTube hates gun content and we need your help to stay in the algorithm. So please subscribe if you want to see more. And without further ado, that is it for this week, guys, and we'll see you guys next time. And I'm out. Peace.